start this over again so we can get it right. We're talking about, fear of the black planet now. We're talking about state of the black planet. I came out with the idea after my illustrator, Jorge from Argentina, who I had worked with a couple of projects, short stories. He sent me these characters, and I named them Shabaka and Kuhela, and I put them on a black planet. And I put them on a planet named Alkebulan, right? And I gave planet Alkebulan identity where it was a stem cell planet where life starts. It's a very fertile planet, and it's green and blue waters, green lands. However, it has a barrier to protect it from the outside world, or just shield it so that way, when the life goes out to the universe, it doesn't have to come back, we don't get disturbed. And the barrier makes it black like space. So it's the black planet. You can't see it, you can't detect it, it's black. Anyway, beautiful story. Planet Alkebulan Book 2 is on Kickstarter now, so you can help me make it, right? If you want to, and you can get a package where you can get book 1 and book 2. So anyway, from there, I started to look and think about other black planets or other planets, and it almost made me sort of like a conspiracy theorist like Stephen Barnes is when he talks about black male sexuality in superhero stories, where he says that black men don't get a sexual interest, they don't get to express their sexuality like Luke Cage did in Netflix. They don't get to do it on the big screen. And, as much as I'd like to prove them wrong, it's been relatively consistent. Can't think of any case of that. I mean, Blade smashed nothing. What's the dude in DC, the robot dude? He don't even have testicles. Warhammer, Falcon, all these, unbelievable. Anyway, that's Stephen Barnes' hypothesis. My hypothesis goes even deeper per se, right? So we're talking about the same thing: fear of black man's sexuality, fear of black people in general. We've got black continents, whole continents where all the people are black on it. Not just Africa, Australia too, right? All these people are black, right? But yet, we don't have a black planet. We've got 50 million different hues, pointy ears, all these white planets that they've multiculturalized, but they've never, we've never, even us, have never really done a black planet, right? Now, my favorite book, Zorro, The Tale of Alien Avengers, came out in 93 by William Sims. Yeah, that speaks to it, right? We don't know in the movie, the 70s, a brother from another planet, if he was coming from his own planet or if he was a slave on another planet. We do know that there was white aliens chasing him, so we don't want to talk about that, right? Now we got this Man Fell from Space that just came out, remake of a David Bowie movie that was a book before. And now we got my man Chinua. I can't say his name wrong. I gotta hear it, so I gotta say it a lot because he's one of my favorite actors. But he's playing this guy, and he don't seem like he's coming from a black planet. He seems like he's got alligator skin and reptilian eyes, so he's not even human. We don't know what planet Mace Windu came from. He don't seem like he had his own planet. As many planets as there are in Star Wars, give it to them. They're not kind of all white planets. They seem to be all multicultural planets, but shoot, they're all white dominated, The Expanse, beautiful diversity, but there's not one black planet because they all come from Earth, right? In my book, Welcome to Boss Lady's Planet, Earth terraformed a planetary system where there was room for every continent to get their own planet. So we broke it up, not by country, but by continent. And so you had an Africa planet, you had a Europe planet, and all these different ones, right? So that's how I broke it up. And then in Dark Universe, Milton Davis's space universe, there is a planet that a black person buys, and all the black people live there. Now, that can be considered a black planet. And it can be considered a black planet that, exists out there. However, I think that's an outside of the bubble one, because we made it black, right? And it's not something like we find that's already out there and that's black. But, when you look at a lot of these universes, many times, it's some type of Prometheus type of person that, or entity that spreads humanoids around. So if we spread to other planets and we make a planet black, I guess that can be considered it. My planet in Welcome to Boss Lady's planet is Verdi, and it's a people of color. So that's a black planet, and it's run by Boss Lady now. But in addition to that, it's terraformed. You know what I'm saying? We went and habitated that. We terraformed it. Anyway, it's still a black planet. So those two get considered. Now, outside of that, I don't know if Stephen Delaney, who wrote about space a lot, had a black planet, because I think his access was human sexuality. So I don't think he did a full racial thing. I'm going to ask people to tell me, because I haven't read all of Octavia Butler's books, but I don't know if she has an all-black planet within her collection, right? I don't know if Stephen Barnes has an all-black planet. I'm just going to go through the greats. Charles Saunders, I don't think he has an all-black planet, because I don't know if he wrote about space on that level. So I'm going to ask, Tariana Reeve Dew, my favorite, L.A. Banks. I don't know if she wrote about space. She might have been getting there, but she didn't write about space enough to have, a black planet. So I'm going to ask people, to come up with a list, because I'm sure in comic books there is one. I'm going to say I believe it is. I would hope, right? But sometimes we get caught up in inclusion. We get scared that our books aren't going to be marketable. Some of the people that probably the only people that I've heard my book is too black have been other black gatekeepers, right? Whether it's their own gate and their independent publisher, or comic book company publisher, right? Those are the only people that I've ever heard talk to me about the color palette of my story. And that may not be the only people that feel it's important, because white agents and other entities weren't jumping all over my story. So you never know what the reason was why they didn't want to do it. I do know that I don't know if Everfair, right, Nisi Shaw's book is an all-black planet. I have to check. What else? Who else got one? N.K. Jameson, I don't know. I know Indy Okafor may have one. I don't know. I think Benty, but I think the people were very first world, something like that, where I don't know that. I think they came from a black planet, or planet of people of color, or it may have felt like what you call it? What's that silly movie? Valerian, right? May have felt like Valerian, where the main people that were blue lived on a planet, and yes, they were possibly the only life forms on that planet, and I think that's the case with Indy Okafor's African science fiction book, Benti. You know, you gotta be careful. You want to call her African American. You don't want to call her Afrofuturism. You don't want to call her black sci-fi. She is African. All right, emphasis on that. So even in the African sci-fi books, I don't know how many African-only planets there are, you know, because I know in Benti, I think there are other people that are more sort of technologically advanced or developed the space technology are white people, I'm thinking, right? Because sometimes in stories, since you don't have to show the person, you don't always mention their color. So I'm just going to say that. But somebody correct me on the Benti series. I only read book 1, so I don't know. Now, in terms of white writers, I think there are white writers that have black planets, but I don't think we like the way they portray them. I don't think they're Wakandas in space, guys. I know I read David Weber's, and they called them the Medusans, right? In his Honor Harrington series, right? On Ballistic Station. So I mean, I don't think we like the way they portrayed there. And where else? There's the Raveners, the Revengers. I forgot the dude's name, man. I did a video about the book. There's another dude who has a trilogy, but I don't think there's a black planet in there. You got a black captain, and that's really cool. And it's a trilogy, but I don't think the planet is black. So again, we can speculate why, you know, we're apprehensive about it. Of course, I blame it on the fear of black people. It's the same reason why Public Enemy came out talking about the fear of a black planet. I think the absence of a black planet is based on the fear of a black planet. You know, we live in an environment where we have the fear of black people. We call it racism, but it's really the essence. It's a fear of black people and the fear of things black. So they're scared of it all, and you know, they haven't fully purged themselves of that fear. So anyway, again, that's my blog for today. Not going to go heavy into it, but please, when I post this video, y'all give me some comments, some likes, shares. Follow me. I think I'm only at 300. Unbelievable. As big as my mouth is, maybe I need to start dissing black females, and I can blow up like Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. Rest in peace, my man. But yeah, I don't do that type of stuff. I'm speculating. This is about science fiction. Anyway, guys, thank you. And remember, if you like this video, please make a comment below. Tell me what you think is what you call it, the an answer to my question. All right, I'm out. We're a little bit under 15 minutes, but that's good. Some videos go long, some videos go short. All right, deuces.